There were many different animals alive when our ancestors first roamed the earth. Some have thrived and are still living today, while others have become extinct. Animal extinction can happen for many reasons, such as natural disasters, hunting, and hybridization between species. However, without documentation, how do we figure out what animals actually existed, how they survived, and how their species went extinct? That is the beauty of cave art. Since there was no ability to take pictures or videos, and since we cannot understand the symbols or language of the cavemen, we rely heavily on cave art to expand our knowledge of the animals that came before us, to see which ones we never knew existed and which ones are still thriving today. The discovery of cave art was a huge advancement for scientists studying prehistory. It meant that we could finally get a small glimpse of how humans lived, what they faced, and even what they feared. The Lascaux Cave and the Chauvet Cave are hugely helpful to research because of all the cave art inside the caves. Both located in France, these caves offer a huge selection of different cave art and provide many different visuals of how animals were depicted back then. By using this art, scientists were able to discover what animals died before they could have been documented. Animals were hugely important to humans back then because they were a source of food, they could provide weapons and clothing, and they were also an important spiritual part of the communities. It is thought that the number of animals outnumbered the humans by a huge amount, which makes sense. However, this urges the question of what happened to all those animals and where did they go? In the Chauvet Caves, scientists have discovered 6 different animals from researching cave art that you will not find roaming the ground today. The first, and probably most well known, is the woolly mammoth. This animal is the largest animal found in the Chauvet Cave, yet, in reality, the woolly mammoth is smaller than the African elephant that you would find today. It is said that they went extinct around 10,000 years ago, and scientists claim that people would use their meat for food and use their bones to make weapons and sometimes even shelters, such as small huts. Another animal shown in the Chauvet Caves was called the cave lion, which went extinct around 10,000 years ago also. This animal was at the top of the food chain, next to humans, and they are drawn as half-human, half-lion figures sometimes on the walls of the cave. Scientists knew that the cave lion was different from our present-day lions because they have no mane. Humans did not hunt cave lions, but used their teeth as a sign of prestige between other communities. A very popular drawing in the Chauvet Cave is the woolly rhinoceros. These drawings tend to be less common in other caves, but in the Chauvet, there are around 65 different drawings of them. Before they became extinct, they liked to wander around the caves, which is why there are so many drawings. Lastly, another very popular drawing in the Chauvet Cave and just around the world is the steppe bison. Alongside horses, they are the most common animal depicted in cave art. They were commonly hunted by humans, which is why they were drawn so much. A popular piece of art in the Chauvet Cave is a picture of a herd of steppe bison and woolly rhinoceros being chased by a group of cave lions. As these different animals are no longer alive, there would have been no way of knowing they existed if it was not for the drawings of them in the cave art. Not only were cave paintings of extinct animals in the Chauvet Cave, but all around the world. They helped scientists discover the time an animal went extinct or if humans were alive back then, during that time. Gian Volpicelli states in his article that a prehistoric painting found in a cave in northern Australia grabbed archaeologists' interest because it apparently depicted a giant bird that scientists believed to have gone extinct millennia before the appearance of man on the continent. Apparently, the same thing happened with the type of lion that was found frozen that scientists believed to be extinct before man was roaming the earth. On the cave walls in western Madagascar, there is a drawing of an extinct giant lemur, which they believe went into extinction up until 1,000 years ago. But giant lemurs were not the only now extinct animals to roam the grounds of Madagascar. At the same time, the largest birds ever to exist, the elephant birds, as well as giant tortoises, the Malagasy crowned hawk eagle, and the Malagasy pygmy hippos were all alive and depicted in cave art in Madagascar. Without these cave paintings, we would never have known that these animals were alive when humans were alive. It helps us to understand the world in which our ancestors lived. On a different note, in the Lascaux Caves, there are many different animals represented and drawn on the walls, many still living today, like the horse, ox, and deer. However, One of the most impressive paintings in the Lascaux caves is of a bull.
It's the largest painting in a cave art, 16 feet, from the top of the horn to the tip of the tail.
Another example of an animal that is still alive today and was also drawn in cave art is a two-humped camel. When it was discovered, scientists found that the painting was between 14,500 and 37,700 years ago. Since there were no camels in the area of southern Urals where they found the painting, that proved their conclusion that humans migrated over very long distances. While it might be a variation of the species that has evolved over the years, cave art shows that many of the common animals we see today were also seen by humans in prehistoric times. All in all, cave art was hugely beneficial to scientists because without it, they might not be able to figure out that there was an animal like the cave lion or the giant lemur. The art gave us an inside scoop on our ancestors, which was very helpful to research as we still cannot understand their languages or symbols or how they communicated. This cave art also shows how advanced their society actually was and how little we think of them compared to what they actually are. Their ability to accurately draw pictures of animals and even leave handprints on the wall shows their level of sophistication. Without these drawings, research on the prehistoric era would not be as far as it is today.